Sara stands alone in a dimly lit room. She performs roku with mechanical swiftness. Her movements are precise, but entirely hollow. Her face remains blank and emotionless. Her eyes stare distantly into nothingness. A translucent digital clock ticks rapidly nearby. It spins forward, blurring the passing time. The adhan echoes, sounding faint and distant. Sara is physically present on the mat, yet her spirit is completely absent. She completes the prayer, feeling nothing. Sara commands the room with quiet authority. She stands at the head of the table. Sunlight floods through the modern glass walls. It illuminates her sharp, professional attire. Her emerald hijab is styled perfectly. It complements her tailored charcoal gray blazer. She presents complex data with absolute clarity. Her voice is steady, confident, and strong. Holographic charts glow softly behind her. Diverse colleagues listen with rapt attention. They respect her sharp, analytical mind. She navigates high-pressure questions with ease. Her answers are precise and well-considered. Sara feels a surge of professional pride. She has worked hard for this position. This environment demands her full mental acuity. She delivers excellence without a single stumble. Her smartphone rests silently on the table. It is a tool, not a master here. She feels competent, valued, and powerful. The corporate world bows to her skill. She is the picture of modern success. Her career trajectory points only upwards. She feels in total control of her destiny. The vibrant city skyline stands behind her. It reflects her own soaring ambitions. She believes she has balanced everything perfectly. Her worldly life is undeniably flourishing. Sara manages her home with equal efficiency. The evening kitchen glows with warm light. It smells of delicious, wholesome home cooking. Her children sit quietly doing their homework. The house is organized and immaculately clean. Every object has its specific, designated place. Her husband enters, looking relaxed and happy. They share a warm, brief conversation. He speaks of his day with a smile. Sara listens while finishing the dinner preparations. She is the engine of this household. Everything runs on her precise schedule. Later, she transitions smoothly to spiritual duties. She lays her prayer mat in the corner. The living room is quiet and serene. It is decorated in rich burgundy tones. She stands to pray at the correct time. To any observer, she is very pious. She fulfills her obligations with apparent discipline. Her faith is a visible part of her. She wears her identity with great pride. She donates to charity and helps neighbors. Her life seems like a perfect mosaic. Worldly success blends with religious observance. Yet, something subtle is missing from the picture. The routine is perfect, but perhaps too perfect. It runs on autopilot, not on passion. Sara raises her hands for takbir now. She says, Allahu Akbar, with her tongue. Her voice sounds clear in the quiet room, but her eyes hold a wandering glint. The room's soft light feels slightly blurred. Her mind does not settle into silence. As she recites Fatiha, thoughts intrude aggressively. An urgent work email flashes in her mind. She worries about a client's delayed response. Then, a grocery list appears in her thoughts. She mentally checks the ingredients for tomorrow. Translucent thought bubbles float around her head. They contain to-do lists and calendar reminders. Her lips continue to move with the verses. The Arabic words flow effortlessly from habit, but her heart is disconnected from their meaning. She does not feel the weight of words. She rushes into ruku without pausing. Her back bends, but her spirit stands stiff. She rises and falls into sujud quickly. The physical actions are correct, but empty. She is checking boxes, not meeting her Lord. The prayer feels like another task to finish. She wants to return to her to-do list. The sanctity of the moment is slowly fading. Her focus is fractured into a dozen pieces. Sara sits on her mat after the prayer. She folds the velvet rug with practiced speed. Her lips mutter a quick, rote dua. The words lack the fire of sincerity. She glances immediately at her gold wristwatch. Her mind is already on the next task. She needs to help her son with math. The warm colors of the room seem dull. A gray filter seems to overlay the scene. A strange, hollow silence echoes in her chest. It is not peace, but a void. She feels a vague, undefined sense of lack. Why did that prayer feel so cold? She brushes the thought away very quickly. She has too much to do tonight. Productivity is her shield against this feeling. But the spiritual emptiness lingers like a shadow. It sits heavily in the pit of her stomach. She misses the sweetness she used to feel. Years ago, prayer felt like a warm embrace. Now it feels like a dry duty. A cold midnight blue shadow touches her face. It contrasts with the warm lamps in the room. Her connection to Allah feels painfully thin. She is a shell performing a sacred dance. Sara's daily life becomes a frantic blur. Days merge into weeks of constant motion. Her prayers become obstacles in her busy schedule. She performs wudu with impatient, hasty splashes. Water hits her face, but cleanses nothing. Her mind is already analyzing a spreadsheet. She throws the prayer mat onto the floor. She steps onto it without taking a breath. Her body moves through the postures rapidly. It looks like a fast-forwarded video clip. Her gaze darts around the carpet patterns constantly. She cannot keep her eyes on the sajda spot. In prostration, her forehead touches the ground, but her mind is planning a weekend trip. She is physically low, but mentally arrogant. She thinks she is managing her time well. In reality, she is starving her own soul. The rich burgundy mat feels cold and hard. The room's atmosphere feels heavy and stagnant. A pervasive grayish-blue hue colors the scene. It symbolizes the encroachment of deep ghafla. She finishes the prayer in record time. She jumps up as if escaping a cage. The ritual is done, but the spirit died. She has fulfilled the letter, but killed the soul. Quiet moments now bring Sara immense discomfort. She sits alone on the sofa for a moment. The house is silent. The kids are asleep. She feels a sudden, sharp pang of loneliness. It is a spiritual hunger she cannot name. She reaches for her beautiful emerald green Quran. She opens the heavy cover with trembling hands. Her eyes scan the familiar Arabic script lines, but the letters seem to float on the page. They do not penetrate her hardened heart today. She reads a verse, but feels no emotion. Her mind is too cluttered with worldly noise. The divine words bounce off a mental wall. She closes the book with a heavy sigh. A feeling of guilt washes over her briefly. She grabs her phone to escape the feeling. Checking emails feels safer than facing the void. She scrolls through messages to find a distraction. The profound stillness of the room feels oppressive. It amplifies the echo of her spiritual silence. She yearns for the connection she once had. She remembers tears of joy from years ago, but she feels paralyzed and unable to return. The chasm within her soul grows wider daily. She is adrift in her own internal silence. Sara sits in her bustling, high-tech office. She is deeply engrossed in a complex spreadsheet. Multiple monitors glow with cold digital cyan light. The data consumes her entire field of vision. Suddenly, the adhan begins from her phone app. It is a soft, melodic call to prayer. Hayya ala Salah, the muezzin's voice calls out. But to Sara, it sounds incredibly faint. It is like a whisper from another world. The office noise drowns it out completely. Phones ring loudly at the nearby desks. Keyboards clack with a relentless, rhythmic noise. Colleagues chatter about lunch plans and deadlines. Sara glances at the notification on her screen. She feels a split second of hesitation. Just a few more minutes, she tells herself. This report is urgent. God will understand. She swipes the notification away with her finger. She pushes the spiritual call out of her mind. She prioritizes the worldly task over the divine. The vibrant digital light dominates her office space. The divine light of the adhan cannot penetrate. Her connection to Allah is at its weakest. She has chosen the creation over the creator. The moment passes and the call fades away. She returns to her data, spiritually deaf. Sara returns home late, exhausted and drained. She drags herself into her elegant living room. She realizes she has missed the prayer time. She stands on her mat to make it up. Her body feels heavy, like lead weights. Her mind is completely numb and unresponsive. She raises her hands, but feels like a hypocrite. The silence in the room is now deafening. It screams at her about her own negligence. The Khushu is entirely, completely, painfully gone. Her heart feels like a hollow, dry chamber. It echoes with the emptiness of her day. She performs the motions like a broken robot. There is no warmth in her chest. There are no tears in her dry eyes. There is no spiritual elevation or relief. A cold, midnight blue shadow engulfs her figure. It makes the cozy room feel vast and desolate. She finishes Salah and sits back on her heels. The crushing weight of the void descends on her. She realizes her success has cost her soul. She desperately yearns for a single drop of connection, but she feels utterly cut off and alone. She is adrift in a sea of her own making. The routine has become a prison, not a refuge. Night has fallen deep over the city. Sara lies in bed, staring at the ceiling. She cannot sleep, despite her physical exhaustion. A subtle, ethereal, golden light appears in the corner. It emanates from a forgotten shelf in her room. She hears a faint, gentle whisper in her heart. It is not a voice, but a feeling. It is a deep, internal nudge from her soul. It reminds her of a specific Quran verse. Has the time not come for those who believe? The verse speaks of hearts humbling before the truth. The whisper recalls the sweetness of her youth. She remembers praying with genuine, shaking presence. She closes her eyes, and tears finally well up. She remembers the true joy of connecting with Allah. The cold, midnight blue room is subtly pierced. A warm, inviting glow begins to spread slowly. This is Rahma, divine mercy, reaching out. It is a soft call to return to him. It breaks through the hard shell of her heart. She realizes she cannot continue living this way. The longing for Allah becomes stronger than her pride. She turns on her side and begins to weep. The next morning, Sara wakes before the alarm. She is still affected by the night's experience. She decides she must truly try to change. She prepares for Fajr with a renewed intention. She performs wudu with slow, deliberate care. She feels the water cooling her heated skin. She focuses on the spiritual meaning of cleansing. She stands on her prayer mat with determination. The battle for Khushu begins in her mind. She recites takbir, but her mind still wanders. Thoughts of work try to invade her sanctuary. She pushes them back with a mental effort. She fights these distractions like physical enemies. She silently recites, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim." She seeks refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan. She closes her eyes to shut out the world. She tries to visualize the holy Kaaba vividly. She tries to focus only on Allah's greatness. A faint, warm, golden light begins to flicker. It symbolizes her small but sincere spiritual effort. The struggle is intense and deeply personal. It feels like lifting a heavy weight alone. But she is consciously trying for the first time. This is the vital first step back home. Days then slowly turned into weeks of consistent spiritual effort. Sara diligently persevered, despite the inherent difficulty of the task. She offered sincere dua for divine assistance every single day, seeking strength from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Her unwavering dedication started to bear profound fruit, blossoming subtly within her heart. One serene afternoon, during the solemn Asr prayer, as she recited Surah Al-Fatiha, something truly shifted within her very core. The sacred words, once merely mechanical sounds, now resonated deeply, vibrating through her entire being. Their profound meaning pierced through the thick layers of accumulated ghafla, heedlessness, that had long shrouded her soul. "You alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help," she whispered, her voice trembling with raw emotion, a genuine connection. A profound, overwhelming sense of humility washed over her, dissolving her previous pride and distraction. Tears, pure, warm, and utterly cleansing, streamed freely down her face as she gracefully performed sujud, her forehead pressed firmly against the rich burgundy of her prayer mat. This was not the sadness of the world, but the overwhelming joy and awe of truly connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, her creator. The entire room around her was now bathed in a powerful, warm, golden, divine light, an ethereal glow emanating directly from her now awakened heart. This radiant light chased away every lingering shadow of spiritual emptiness. This was the glorious return of Khushu'a, humility and focus, a sacred, deeply personal moment of complete submission, profound love, and utter peace. She felt truly present, truly seen, and deeply, unconditionally loved by her Creator, her heart overflowing with immense gratitude and unshakable faith. The heavy burden of the spiritual void was lifted, replaced by a lightness she had longed for. She stayed in prostration, weeping with a joy that transcended all worldly understanding, feeling Allah's boundless mercy embrace her completely. Sara sits on her prayer mat after Salah. Her face is radiant with inner peace now. Her eyes are soft, filled with a serene glow. The tension has left her shoulders completely. The Quran lies open gently before her. Its pages are illuminated by ethereal golden light. The light symbolizes divine wisdom truly absorbed. She is not rushing to the next task. She savors the quiet moments of reflection. She engages in dhikr, remembering Allah with love. The distractions of the world have receded far away. They are replaced by a profound stillness inside. Her home feels different, like a true sanctuary. The deep emerald green and warm burgundy shine. The colors reflect the peace she has found. The previous cold midnight blue shadows are gone. They are replaced by the pervasive divine light. This is the reward of her perseverance. It is the sweetness of rediscovered living faith. She is a beacon of tranquility in her home. She is truly connected to her Creator again. Her heart overflows with gratitude for this guidance. She realizes that this peace is true success. Her soul is finally at rest in Him. A single, harmonious composition depicts Sara's new life. It shows her re-established spiritual state vividly. She is seen performing Salah with perfect Khushu. Her gaze is unwavering, fixed on the ground. Her movements are graceful, deliberate, and full of meaning. She is not rushing. She is savoring the prayer. Around her, subtle, glowing golden light forms. It creates a protective aura around her figure. It symbolizes her deep, unbroken connection to Allah. In the background, her family is subtly visible. Her husband and children are reading or playing. They are respectfully engaged in quiet activities. They acknowledge and respect her sacred time with God. The setting is her serene, beautiful living room. It is bathed in warm, natural afternoon light. This image powerfully conveys a central truth. Prayer is not merely a daily ritual. It is a conscious, heartfelt dialogue with God. It enriches all other aspects of her life. The world has its demands and pressures, but her prayer is now her anchor. It is her refuge and her fortress. It is her true source of strength and peace. She has reclaimed the heart of her worship. Sara looks directly into the camera lens. Her face is calm, wise, and deeply empathetic. Her deep emerald green hijab frames her face. She speaks to the viewer with gentle authority. Our prayers are our direct connection to Allah. They are the lifeline for our souls. Are yours merely motions or heartfelt conversations? Do you rush through them to finish tasks, or do you find true peace within them? The world will always call for your attention, but Allah calls you 5 times a day. He deserves our full, undivided presence and heart. Don't let your prayer become an echo of silence. Don't let it become a hollow shell. Seek Khushu with everything you have. Reclaim your connection to the source of peace. Find the sweetness of Salah once again. Allah is waiting for you to return. Will you answer His call with your heart? Will you leave the world behind for Him? Make every single rakat count from now on. Your soul needs this connection to survive. Begin your journey back to Him today. Her voice is gentle but firm. It carries profound conviction and hope.